My name is Michael Dana. In 2008, I was diagnosed with a rare brain cancer, and after 6 years, I was cancer-free. But the ordeal left me changed, with a different outlook on life and a new sense of priorities. While still recovering, I earned a degree in economics from UNC Chapel Hill. My studies taught me to analyze data and open my mind to see things differently. I also started formal training in the martial arts to better defend myself and use it as a means of extreme physical therapy. Since then, I've obtained black belts in 3 martial arts. I own and run a martial arts school and have logged over 51 teaching hours. To my friends and family, I'm a simple business owner. But to the martial arts world, I'm something else. I am Sifu Mike, and this is Dragon Theory. Hey guys, how's it going? So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about sparring, okay, and how it is used in different martial arts schools as far as teaching is concerned, how it's an amazing business tool. So make sure to stick around and watch the entire video so you know about the ins and outs and workings of sparring and how to correctly apply it to your school and how it is used in business and stuff like that. So first I'm going to talk about what is sparring, and then I'm going to talk about the nature of sparring, and then I'm going to talk about how to use it in a business sense. So make sure, like I said, watch the entire thing. Now a lot of this is already on tape in videos on my website, thedragonmethod.com. Alright, so if you want to skip this thing, just go straight there. Make sure you have to register and pay some money and stuff like that. But I am doing a offer right now where I'm basically giving you a 1-year free trial, right? So you can watch all my videos on there. I got like 24 hours of footage at least. Lots of stuff on there, video tutorials on how to teach martial arts and how to do martial arts, alright? I got all kinds of stuff on there, man. I've been in mixed martial arts for a while. So that is thedragonmethod.com. Alright, so make sure to check out thedragonmethod.com. Anyways, that's my marketing spiel. So I'm going to go right into the talking about sparring and essentially what it is. Now, for the sake of simplicity, in this video I'm going to be using the term sparring, but really, depending on the martial art, they have a whole lot of different names for the same thing. And that's one of the big things you're going to encounter a lot if you do mixed martial arts. That's what I encounter all the time, is the names. It can be one of the most frustrating things ever, because you have several different names for the same thing, and it's all depending on the context of martial art or the part of the globe that it came from, right? So sparring, in some places, is called kumite, alright, or bandori, or free practice, or rolling, okay, or basically working the situation, right? So it's got a lot of different words, all the same thing. Now, the thing about sparring is that it is different from a two-person form or kata or drill in this respect. In a drill or a kata or two-person form, both parties know kind of what each other are going to do, right? So it's kind of almost choreographed and scripted. They know what to expect. They're pricing a certain thing, right, within that kind of situational sparring two-person form scenario, right? Now, with actual sparring, you have the presence or the variable of no knowledge, right? So you don't really know exactly what your partner or partners, say you're fighting multiple people, are going to do at a specific time. They might telegraph or lead, you might be able to figure out, or they might have different contacts or rule sets that govern what you can do within that situation, but you still have the if. You're like, okay, what are they going to do, and what am I going to do in response? So some people preempt that and they go first, right? But that's the main difference, is that you're working techniques in a situation, right? And the what you do is unknown until you actually do it, right? Whereas with a drill, you know what you're going to be doing from the very get-go, right? Same thing with a two-person form or whatever. So the difference there is the unknown aspect. Now, in both cases, you're working a set of techniques within a situation. All right, so lots of different techniques within a situation, and the situation can be different depending on the rule set, depending on where you're at, right? And so there's a whole lot of different variables within that, but you're still working the particular situation. That's the thing they all have in common, right? And like I said, every martial art has this. I mean, even in Tai Chi, they have this thing called push hands, which is like their version of sparring, right? In some Filipino styles, they have like tappy tappy, which has a set amount of patterns and stuff in that situation, in that context, which is like sparring. All right, so it kind of fits the definition of working several different types of techniques within the confines of a single situation. Now, it can also be in sports, like I said. You're still working within that situation. There's still an unknown, but you can do things for like points, right? So they have tournaments where they have like continuous sparring and point sparring, and even in grappling settings, you have things where you can just get points, or it's like for a set amount of time, and you see who is getting like the most amount of points or the submission within that amount of time. So there are just infinite number of rules in that, but it is working the situation, very much working that. I will say this, because of that, like I said, it can be the very best teaching technique if used correctly, or it can be terrible. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's terrible, because the thing about sparring is that is very good at teaching you what you need to do at the time. Okay? Teaching you what you need to do. It will never, ever, ever, ever teach you how to do it. Okay? And that's a big key difference as far as what is a form or what is a sparring situation. If you don't know the techniques within that situation, you're not going to get a whole lot out of it, other than that, hey, you need to learn the techniques that are used in that situation. Okay? But that situation isn't going to be the thing that actually tells you how to do that stuff. Right? You have to have an instructor for that. Sometimes the instructors rely on the partner, right, whoever you're sparring with, to kind of give you tips as far as what you're doing, and the hopes that that will somehow bleed in through. But you don't really get that many reps. Okay, you know, I can have somebody hit a bag a whole lot more times than I can have them hit another human being. Right? Human beings are going to fall down after a while. Right? So it's a limited resource. Right? So there's a different way of training to train the things within the sparring before you actually work the situation, because a lot of times what people get out of that situation is that, remember, it tells you what you need to know, right? So a lot of people, they get out of it that if they're bigger, or if they're stronger, or if they know more techniques than the other person, they're going to come on top, right? And there's a competitive nature to most people to this thing, and a lot of it's done as sport, and so they want to win. Right? Sometimes they don't want to win because of like technical prowess or whatever. They just want to win. And if you're always winning, you're not really learning. Okay? They say failure is the greatest teacher. Right? So you learn a lot by knowing exactly what not to do. Right? Still, you got to learn how to do something. Right? Trying to basically spar without knowing the components within sparring is like trying to like cook a meal without all the ingredients, or not even really knowing how, or trying to build a table without knowing how to hammer a nail first, kind of deals. And so there's a whole lot of steps that go up to that situation, that if you learn those first, when you do get this situation, you'll do a whole lot better, because you've got all these different tools that you can pull from and use within the context of that situation. But if you try to learn those things while you're working the situation, you're just getting unnecessarily trauma. All right, it's you know, your body is getting all kinds, like, you're either getting hit or you're getting your arms broken or whatever like that. It really pains me to meet people who talk about in their journey to learn self-defense they got injured, and I'm kind of like, that literally defeats the purpose. If you're trying to learn something for the purpose of keeping you safe from injury and then getting injured while doing it, you messed up somewhere, you know, and maybe not so much you, but whoever is supposedly teaching you and allowing you to do this thing that they know or they should know that you're not ready for it. That's another thing, alright? So we have the working the context and how you'll get more out of it, out of the situation, if you know more to use in it, right? So, if you go to thedragonmethod.com, I tell you how you use it right? I've got whole videos just all about how to teach and what to do, how to best make it most effective for the person that you're teaching, right? Because that's my goal. I want you to be the best you possible. Alright, so you go to thedragonmethod.com and check out my videos there. You can also like, subscribe, follow, and all this stuff here on my YouTube channel, tkfmma. You can find me on the Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I got a lot of stuff. tkfmma, The Dragon Method. Alright, that's everywhere, man. Even my website, my other website is tkfmma.com. Okay, lots of stuff. tkfmma, thedragonmethod.com. Keeping it all real, man. This is a long one. I've split it up into a couple of different videos for you. It's an easily digestible kind of splitting of stuff. Hope you learned something, and definitely check back here next week. So I'm always doing these things. Okay. All right. Take it easy.